आनंद अलौकिक पाता है। हर पल बजता तेरा गीत निरंतर, सांसों के तारों में हर पल बजता तेरा गीत निरंतर। तेरे अनहद नाद की धुन अब गूंजे हर पल मन के भीतर। तेरे अनहद नाद की धुन अब गूंजे हर पल मन के भीतर। मन को पंख दिए कैसे रोके ना रुक पाता है। इस मन को पंख दिए कैसे रोके ना रुक पाता है। तुमसे मिलने की चाहत में मन मिलों तक उड़ जाता है। मन मिलों तक उड़ जाता है। जब तुमसे मन जुड़ जाता है, आनंद अलौकिक पाता है। जब तुमसे मन जुड़ जाता है, आनंद अलौकिक पाता है। मन की मृग तृष्णा भटक गई थी कांटों के इस जंगल में। मैं अनजाना उलझ गया था मोह माया के दलदल में। मोह माया के दलदल में मन के शोर सब थम से गए हैं। तुझ झरने की कलकल में मन के शोर सब थम से गए हैं। तुझ झरने की कलकल में सारे प्रश्नों का हल पाया। तेरे एक ही उत्तर में, तेरे एक ही उत्तर में। जब तुमसे मन जुड़ जाता है, मन खुशियों से भर जाता है। जब तुमसे मन जुड़ जाता है, मन मिलों तक उड़ जाता है। आनंद अलौकिक पाता है। मन खुशियों से भर जाता है।
Om Shanti. Let's take a minute of silence, silence of the mind, for the next several minutes to be connected to our Supreme Source, to our beloved Father, leaving aside all worries, to charge ourselves, charge our batteries, to create and see through our day powerfully. As we get into our routine after this Murli, we will be covered with a lot of concerns and responsibilities. And this sustenance is going to help us create our day powerfully and royally. Today's Murli is dated 17th October 2003, and the title of today's Murli is Become a Jewel of Contentment Throughout the Whole Year. Always remain content and make everyone content. So, as we step out to give anything to anyone, the first condition is that we need to have it with us ourselves. Only if we have it is how we can provide it. So if we are content, only then we can make everyone around us content. In today's Murli, Baba's talking to us about the personality and royalty of us Brahman souls. And that personality and royalty is of purity. That is having control over our mind, body, and sanskars. Baba says, you having control in this birth is a precondition of you getting your place for the coming 21 births. That was also told us and related to us as a sparkling stars, like how we see stars in the sky. Some of them twinkle and spark brightly. We Brahmins are those sparkling stars. Today, Bap Dada, the comforter of hearts, is pleased to see each one of his royal beloved children. Baba calls us Raj Dulari, the extremely lovely children from everywhere who are in front of him, and also those who are far and yet close. Each child is a king and is therefore a specially beloved royal child. Very few souls in the world attain this love and royal affection from God. And we, Brahmins, are the privilege of being amongst those few souls. However, all of you have a right to God's love and God's royal affection. Souls of the world are calling out. They call you out, come, come, whereas all of you are experiencing God's love. You're being sustained with God's sustenance. Do you experience this fortune of yours? Baba's asking, are you experiencing it? Bab Dada is seeing all of you as those who have a right to a double kingdom. You are the kings who have a right to the self sovereignty of the present time, and the kingdom of the future is your birthright. And that's how you are double kings. Baba's asking, all of you are kings, are you not? You're not subjects. Are you Raj Yogis? Or are some of you Praja Yogis? Are there any Praja Yogis? Are those sitting at the back Raj Yogis? There aren't any Praja Yogis, are there? Baba's asking, are you sure? Say yes after thinking about it carefully. To have a right to the kingdom means to have a right to all your subtle and physical organs because you are masters of the self, are you not? So, do you become kings only sometimes, or do you always remain a king? The main thing is, do you have a right over your mind, intellect, and sanskars? Do you always have a right over them, or is it only sometimes? Self sovereignty means constantly to have self sovereignty. Or is it that you have it one day and not the next day? A kingdom is for all time, is it not? So, constantly to be a self sovereign, a master of the self, means always to have a right over your mind, your intellect, and your sanskars. Do you have this all the time? Baba's asking everyone. You're not saying yes to having this all the time. Is it that sometimes the mind rules you, or do you rule your mind? Does your mind become the master sometimes? It does become this, does it not? So, always have a right to self sovereignty, and so one who has a right to the kingdom of the world. Therefore, always check this, because for however long and with however much power you have a right over your organs, that is the mind, the intellect, and sanskars, you will accordingly receive a right to the kingdom in the future. If, on the basis of receiving God's sustenance, God's education, and God's Srimad, you don't always have a right in this one birth or the confluence age, then how would you become one who has a right to the kingdom of the world for 21 births? If on the basis of receiving God's sustenance in this confluence age, God's education and God's Srimad, you don't always have a right in this one birth, then how would you become one who has a right to the kingdom of the world of 21 births. So Baba's reminding us that He's there with us. Are we standing in the stability of having control through His sustenance over our mind, intellect, and sanskars? There is an account. Only when you are master of the self at this time, that is, in the confluence age, only by becoming a king of the self at this time will you have a guarantee for 21 births. Who am I and what will I become? Through your rights of the present time, you yourself can know your future. Just consider how elevated the original and eternal personality and royalty of you special souls is. Look at the eternal form of you souls when you reside in the supreme abode. You are seen as such brightly sparkling souls. How bright the sparkle of that royalty and personality is. Can you see it? And in the form of the soul, you stay with the Father. You stay close. Just as in the sky, some stars sparkle very brightly. In the same way, you souls are especially with the Father, and you are the stars who have a special sparkle, the sparkle of God's sustenance. In the supreme abode, you are close to the Father, and then at the beginning of the golden age, the personality and royalty of you deity souls is so high. Go around the whole cycle. Religious souls have come and gone. Great souls have come and gone. Religious fathers have come and gone. Political leaders have come and gone. Actors have come and gone. Do any of them have such a personality as you deity souls have in the golden age? Your deity form is appearing in front of you, is it not? Is it coming in front of you, or do you not know whether you will become that or not? I was asking, do you have any doubts? Is it firm that you will become that? Those sitting at the back, is this firm? Bring your deity form in front of you and look at it. Has that personality come in front of you? There is so much royalty. Even nature becomes such that it has a personality. Even your nature, even your sanskar, in your swabhav becomes such that it has a personality. The birds, trees, fruits, flowers all have a personality. They are royal. Okay, now come down and look at your worthy of worship form. You are worshipped. Will the double foreigners become worthy of worship, or will those from India become that? Did you become deities? Not those with an elephant's trunk or those with a tail. Baba's talking about Ganesha and Hanuman. Not those goddesses with the form of Kali, but look at the temple of the deities. There is so much royalty and personality in your worthy of worship form. There would be an idol of 4 feet or 5 feet, and they would make such a big temple. This is royalty and personality. Nowadays, they make a statue of a prime minister or a king and place that poor statue in the heat outside. anything can happen to it. Whereas, how great is the personality of your worthy of worship form? It is very good, is it not? Baba is speaking to the Kumaris. Kumaris are sitting there, sitting here, are they not? This is your royalty, is it not? Then, at the end, at the confluence age 2, the royalty of of you is so high. The personality of Brahman life is so great. God Himself has directly filled your Brahman life with personality and royalty. I repeat this: God Himself has directly filled your Brahman life with personality and royalty. Who is the artist of Brahman life? The Father Himself. All of us have not come here. It's this Father who's got all of us here. What is the personality and royalty of Brahman life? It is purity. Purity itself is royalty. It is it not? All the Brahman souls sitting here, you have a royalty of purity, do you not? Yes, you may nod in agreement. Those sitting at the back are raising their hands. You're not at the back. You are in the front. You are in front of Baba. So even if they are sitting behind, they are in front of Baba. No matter where we are all in front of Baba. Look, Baba's vision automatically goes to the back. To look at the front, he has to make special effort to see them, whereas his vision automatically goes to the back. Therefore, check: do I always have the personality of purity? Is there purity in my thoughts, words, and deeds, attitude, vision, and behavior? Take a moment, take a pause here, and reflect. Is there purity in my thoughts, words, deeds, attitude, vision, and behavior? To have purity in thoughts means always to have good wishes and pure feelings for everyone. Shubh Bhavna, Shubh. No matter what another soul may be like, a soul who has the royalty of purity would always have thoughts filled with good wishes, pure feelings, feelings of benevolence, feelings of mercy, and feelings of a bestower. And in their vision, they would always see everyone as a soul, or would see everyone in their angelic form. Even if the other one hasn't become an angel, in my sight, I should only see the form of the soul or the angelic form. We may get driven by the bodily sanskars or bodily attitudes. So Baba is giving us a reminder here to relate to everyone on soul consciousness. In my behavior, that is, in my connections and relationships, and when coming into action, I always have to give love and happiness to everyone, whether or not Others give me love. My duty is to give them love and make them loving, to give them happiness. You have a slogan: do not give sorrow, do not take sorrow. You must neither give it nor must you take it. One who gives may sometimes also give you sorrow, but see that in the awareness of happiness, you don't make someone who has fallen down fall down even further. You always uplift someone who has fallen. That soul is causing sorrow because they have fallen and under an external influence. Therefore, you mustn't make them fall even further down. The spiritual battery is depleted. Someone's already beaten down. I was saying, what's the point of beating them down further? Therefore, you mustn't make them fall even further down. It shouldn't be that you kick that poor person even more. No, uplift them with love. In this too, first, charity begins at home. First of all, charity begins at home, does it not? Uplift all your companions, your service companions, and companions of the Brahmin family. Even if they reveal their bad traits, you simply see their specialities. It is number wise, is it not? Look, the rosary is your memorial. So not everyone has the same number. There is a number 108. So it is number wise and it will remain like that. However, what is your duty? It is not to think, okay, I am not in the 8 anyway, so perhaps I shall become part of the 108. So I could be the last one of the 108. And so I would also have some sanskars in me, would I not? But no, by giving happiness and love to others, your sanskars will also become those of love and happiness. By giving happiness and love to others, your sanskars will also become those of love and happiness. How? Why? Because we have a Supreme Father's sustenance with us. This is service, and in this service, charity begins at home first. Today, Bab Dada found something amusing. Should he tell you? Just see, you will also find it amusing. Bab Dada continues to watch the games of you children. Bab Dada switches on his TV of one center at any time in a second, and sometimes at another center, sometimes at the centers abroad, and sometimes at the centers in India. He switches it on and is able to tell what each one is doing because the Father has love for you children. Children also say, we have to become equal to Him. It is firm, is it not, that you have to become equal? Kumaris, are you going to become equal? Or is it okay with whatever you become in the drama? No, you have to become equal. All Kumaris have to become equal. Even if you have to die, no matter what you have to do, raise your hands after careful consideration. Yes, those of you who feel that it doesn't matter what you have to do, you may have to die, bow down, tolerate, or to listen to anyone. Raise your hands. Kumaris, raise your hands after considering it carefully. Baba says, take their photograph. There are many Kumaris. What if you have to die? What if you have to bow down? Pandavas, raise your hands. Did you hear? You have to become equal. There won't be any pleasure if you don't become equal. Then you won't be close in the supreme board either. There will be a difference in becoming worthy of worship, and there will also be a difference in the fortune of the kingdom of the golden age. You love Father Brahma, do you not? Double foreigners have the maximum love. Those who have deep love in their heart of Father Brahma, raise your hands. Do the double foreigners have love in their heart? Acha, it is real love, is it not? Now Baba will ask you a question. A sign of love is that whomsoever you love, you would like doing that which the one you love likes doing. A sign of love is that whomsoever you love, you would like doing that which the one you love likes doing. Only when the sanskars, thoughts, and natures of both tally with one another do you find each other loving. If you love Father Brahma, you will stay with him for 21 births, right from the first birth. It is not good if you come into the second or third birth. You will stay with him from the first birth till the last birth. You will stay with him in different forms. So, who can stay with him? Only those can stay with him who are equal. He is the number one soul. So, how will you stay with him? Only when you become number one will you stay with him. Number one in everything, in your thoughts, words, deeds, attitude, vision, and behavior. So that's going to be the homework for today, to be number one in everything. That's going to be the practice. So are you number one or number wise? If you have love, then it is not difficult to sacrifice anything out of love. In the last birth at the end of the Iron Age, even those who have body conscious love sacrifice their life out of love. So, what is the big deal if you transform your sanskars out of love for Father Brahma? Is it a big deal? It isn't. So, will everyone's sanskars change from today? Are you sure? A report will be sent. Your companions will write to Baba. Are you sure? The dadis are also listening. The double foreigners are saying that their sanskars have changed. Or will it take time? Mohini, you tell Baba. They will change, will they not? They will all change, will they not? Those from America will change. The amusing part has been left out. The amusing thing is that all of you say that you make a lot of effort. Bab Dada too feels mercy when he sees that you're making a lot of effort. Bab Dada doesn't like his children doing hard work. Sometimes you make a lot of effort, and what do you say? What can I do if my sanskars are like that? You use your sanskars as an excuse, as an alibi, and excuse yourself in that way. However, today, The Father saw that when you say my sanskars, are they really your sanskars? You are a soul. You're a soul, are you not? You're not a body, are you? You have a body. You are not a body. So, what are the sanskars of the soul? And what are your original sanskars? What you refer to today as yours, are they yours or are they Ravan's? Whose sanskars are they? Yeah, they are the sanskars of the Maya, are they not? They are not yours. So, why do you say that they are yours? They're not your natural sanskars. They're all acquired in this birth, maybe over the last few births, but they are not your natural sanskars. So, why do you say they are yours? You say, do you not? My sanskars are like that. So from today, don't say my sanskars. No. Sometimes rubbish comes to you flying from everywhere, does it not? So this thing of Ravans has also come to you. So how can you say that they are yours? Are they yours? They aren't, are they? So now, never say this. Another homework, not for only for today, but from today, is that you don't say that these are my sanskars. Whenever you say the word mine, then remember who you are and what your sanskars are. In body consciousness, they are your sanskars. However, in soul consciousness, those sanskars are not there. So now transform that language. You say, my sanskars, and become careless. You would say, that was not my intention, but those are just my sanskars. Acha, what is the other word you use? The other word that you use is, this is my nature. The word swabhav, that is nature, means swa means self and bhav means feeling. Is so good. The self is always good. My nature, my intention is always good. It is never bad. So instead of using the words my nature, my sanskars, change that language. Whenever you use the word my, then remember what are my original sanskars. Who is saying this? It is the soul that says, these are my sanskars. And those are the sanskars of personality and royalty, of purity. So when you think about this, you will be amused with yourself. You will feel amused, will you not? When you are amused, all the complications that you create end. You'll get to see the weirdity of your own acquired sanskars. This is calling transforming your language. That is, to have respect and regard for every soul. Always stay in self respect for yourself and regards others with respect. Always stay in self respect for yourself and regards others with respect. When you look at everyone with respect, then when anything happens that you don't like, whenever there are some complications, you won't like them, will you? Look at one another with respect, even if the other is behaving in some other way. Then also look with respect. This one is a special soul. This one is a Brahmin soul who has received sustenance from the Father. that is you and me. This soul is one of the few out of multi-millions. Just do one thing. Let the point remain merged in your eye. That's all. Firstly, you must see with the point, pupil of the eye, and secondly, merge the point in your eye. That is, Baba's in another words, Baba's saying, you get into your soul consciousness. Then no conflict will happen. Conflicts only happen when we get into our body consciousness. You won't have to make effort. It will it will be as though a soul is looking at a soul. A soul is speaking to a soul. Create a soul conscious attitude and soul conscious vision. Do you understand what you have to do? Now, never say, my sanskars. When you speak of Swabhav, that is your original nature, stay in the nature of the self. Is this okay? So we'll stop here and then we'll continue further on Monday. Let's take a few moments to reflect on the golden words that Baba shared with us in today's Murli, and then be open to share. Om Shanti. You can unmute yourself and be open to share.
Om Shanti. Good morning, everyone. Very nice, Murli. The point which touched me today is the line where Baba says, I always had to give love and happiness to everyone, whether or not others give me, whether or not others give me love. Because when you give sorrow, you are making someone fall down, right? But in love, you are giving happiness and making the soul also happy, which um, which in which is making them rise high and which is making them rise high. So in this way, your samskaras also become love and happiness. Okay. Okay.
Om Shanti. Today, Baba has given a lot of checking points which make us introvert. At every moment, we are checking ourselves whether we are on the right path. Because of body consciousness, we always say, "This is my sanskar. I am like this," etc. But The main point is to be self-sovereign, always have a right over our mind, intellect and sanskars, because God has given this education, sustenance and Srimad. So uh, checking points of mine is to, if you want to become number one in thoughts, words, deed and action, attitude, vision and behavior, we have to change our sanskars, swabhav. So for becoming royalty and personality, that should be our goal. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti, brother. Thank you, Baba, for the very nice words. My takeaway today, especially, is I'm like that star, that beautiful star, like a deity who's shining in Baba's light. And all of us are like those beautiful stars. Like deities, we radiate the light and we uplift everybody around us. And we uplift them, even those who have fallen, with happiness, with grace, with divine energy. Om Shanti.
Yes, Kalpesh Bhai, Lakshmi Behan, Apurva Behan, Madhu Behan.
Om Shanti. The takeaway point for me from today's Murli is, do I have the personality of purity and purity in thoughts especially?
Om Shanti Bhaiji. Good morning, everyone. Baba is reminding us, even in the Lokic world, if we are in love, whatever that person does and likes and everything, we will try to follow them. And here, why is it so difficult for us to do? And besides that, he also say, uplift everyone with a lot of love, not to push them down. And our slogan is, do not give, nor take sorrow. Thank you. Om Shanti Bhaiji.
Yes, do not take sorrow. Even if someone gives us sorrow, has the intention to give us sorrow, it is up to us whether we want to take it or not. If we get into our body consciousness, it will occur to us as a sorrow. But if we are in a soul consciousness, we'll be able to see that person as a soul who only knows how to behave in a certain manner. And that is the time, that is the point where we'll be able to give them Shubhavna, Shubkamna. That is, soul heals and he moves ahead with purity.
Bhaiji, one more thing Baba is reminding. He's really giving us such high self-respect also, but he's showing the difference between religious souls, great souls, religious fathers, political leaders, actors. They have all come and gone, but look at us, the personality of us becoming deity souls in Satyug, how great it is now itself. Om Shanti.
Yes, you're right. That we all being here as Brahmins is not a coincidence. Inderbai, Hansaben, anything that you would like to share? Sister can't hear you. Hansaben, आपकी आवाज नहीं आ रही. No, we can't hear you.
Is it fine now? Am I audible now?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
No, can't hear you again.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I'll try another time.
Lakshmi Ben, Ami Ben, Rakhi Ben.
Om Shanti. Takeaway point from today's Murli for me is Baba is talking about how to uplift souls. There are people who may not behave right with us, or they may behave in a particular manner. But at that point of time, as Baba's mentioned on this slogan, that not to give sorrow and take sorrow, understand through knowledge that each soul is in their own journey, and instead of pushing them back, that these are the souls who are depleting my energy or not behaving right with me, instead of pushing them back, be a strength for that soul by giving blessings and good wishes to that soul, and stand for uplifting them rather than pushing them back. That's the point which is take away from me from today's Murli. Om Shanti.
Om Shanti
Words of
Bhaiji.
yes, yes, Megha Ben.
Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
I'm a new person in this meeting. I like this one message in this movie. Like Baba says in this movie, we must live, stay always in soul conscious or angelic form. And when we look at other persons, they also same soul form or angelic form. Om Shanti.
Thank you, sister. Hansa Ben, as she could not say it out clearly, so she's typed out that we see and check my thoughts to be more pure and light, and charity begins at home. Will take off this too. Okay.
Vivishma, I have a question
Yeah.
which came to my mind, right? See, when a person does, whether your children or whoever it is, when he does something good, it is the tendency it is our nature to appreciate him. And but some people they say when you appreciate them, but there's some people they don't appreciate him. They just मन वो बहुत खुश रहते हैं, but they don't show it on their face, right? They say appreciate करने से उनका अहंकार बढ़ जाता है. But some people they say when you really appreciate us, we get that zeal and enthusiasm to to move forward. So which is right? Because all these olden people, I mean, they used to be very strict, like they wouldn't appreciate so much because
Yeah.
So I don't know whether this question is right or not, but still I had a doubt.
Yeah, my Lokik father, when I was growing, never appreciated me. And I always just used to have a complaint that no matter how much I do, he's not appreciating. But when uh, one of the times when I was talking to him, uh, he shared with me on the same lines that had I appreciated you, then maybe your growth would have stopped. So there was a concern where he was coming from. Uh, the way to go about is that whatever we do should not be dependent on the basis of seeking appreciation. So developing our sanskar like that, that we're doing it because we want to do it, not in order to seek appreciation. And maybe the way different people have different perspectives, different sanskars, different approaches, and to each to its own. The place to work here, Sandhyavan, is on your own sanskars, on your own thought processes. Is it dependent on something outside of you, or it is independent that you're doing it and you are self-sustained to take care of it yourself?
Okay, nice. Thank you.
So one, before we move on to the to meditation, I'd like to share an experience that when I one of the times when I was sitting with one of the sisters at the center, and I was overwhelmed at that time. This was much earlier in Gyan when I got into Gyan, and I told Didi, I said, Didi, why do people behave like this with me? I don't wish bad for them, but then also, why do they behave like this with me? To that, the sister told me that maybe there is a karmic account that you have with them, and that person is behaving with you like that to in return to the karmic account. So the moment that person behaves like that, to that extent, if you're not holding any grudge against that person, your karmic account is getting settled. And that perspective actually gave me freedom to relate to people from soul consciousness and not blame them or get back to them from my body consciousness.
Rameshbhai, there's an announcement. Shall I share before the meditation?
Yes, yes, please.
Okay. This Sunday, that is tomorrow, we have a special session by B.K. Harsha Pallibai from San Francisco. The topic of the session is Read God's Mind through Murli. So we invite all brothers and sisters of the Divine Family to join this session. And we also invite other Brahmin souls who are not in this session. So spread this message as much as you can. So be there tomorrow. Om Shanti.
Yeah, it would be wonderful to actually read God's mind. What is God having in his mind, and how he's using Murli as an access or a medium rather to get his thoughts across. So it is going to be an interesting session. Spread the word as much as you can. Of course, needless to say, all of us will be here on the session, but let more and more people get benefited out of this uh, Harshabai's session. Okay, Amiben, can we
And
have a short
yes, we have all,
meditation?
just a minute, we have
Yeah.
also shared on the chat box the link. So those who are new, they can copy the link from there. Okay, I'll share the meditation with.
Okay. Okay. Sit upright. You may keep your eyes closed, or you may keep it open and be connected to our Supreme Father. Take nice, long, deep breaths and have calmness on your face. All the muscles are relaxed. There's a nice, gentle smile of gratitude, of belongingness to the Father, of sustenance, of safety, of security. Your palms are open, facing up the sky. Means you're open to receive good and you're open to give good. Only good and only good comes out of you. Because that's who you are. The chosen one. The royal one. The pure one. The happiness of you being the one and having and being a part of this blissful family. There is nothing more that you could ask for. Even through the challenges, you have nothing to worry. Because you have your Supreme Father's backing you. And a father never allows his child to fall. Starting today, whatever my practices are, I take on elevating it to a higher level. That's my pathway of getting closer to my Supreme Father, to be equal with Him. Each of my thoughts, everything that I speak, all that I do, my attitude, my approach, my drishti, that's my vision, and my behavior is all coming from the space of benevolence and humility. I take this as my responsibility to make my Supreme Father proud of me because in his happiness lies my happiness. Om Shanti. Thank you, Baba. Thank you, Drama.
Om Shanti Baiji. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.
Om Shanti.
Thank you. Thank you, Baba.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Thank you, Vimashbhai. Thank you, all of you. See you tomorrow at 5:30 a.m. And let's have a sparkling day. Om Shanti.